All right. Welcome back to D-Loney V8 Motorsports. Here we are. I didn't do anything. 4, 3. Welcome back to D-Loney V8 Motorsports. I'm Dave Loney. This is George Burns, and we're here at Burns Brothers Performance.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to talk about a car that it's kind of been unloved on this channel.
Neglected?
Yeah, well, it is a little bit weird too. It's only George's cars in the shop. It's nothing. Yeah. There's no other cars here.
It's kind of strange.
Yeah. So we're going to take you through the 70 Chevelle. George has had this thing forever. This is the old trusty Chevelle. It's done a lot of burnouts next door at the barbecue.
Yes.
What's the nickname for this car?
Melba Toast.
Okay. So much so that I think you took the clutch out of commission.
I did.
1 year.
Yeah.
So there is a big block spread out on the table underneath the camera here. We're going to take you through that, and George is going to walk you through, and we're going to talk about the price tag. He's built a motor for this thing.
It's a low budget big block.
Yep.
So, you know, if you do enough engines and have enough stuff laying around, at some point you either sell the stuff off or figure out, I'm gonna have to do something with this stuff. So the idea of this engine is basically to utilize anything I've had laying around and try to put it together and build a big block, and we're doing it.
Yep.
So
it's going together. Yeah. And we've got something tonight we've wanted for a very long time, a beer sponsor. We'd like to thank Fink Family Racing for the beers here.
Thanks, Fink.
Friday night.
Family.
Cheers. Oh, there's people in the audience here too.
Yes, the fridge is full, thanks to Fink Family Racing.
FMR. We're on our way into a 3-day weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Thank you. And so we're going to take you through and we'll show you this stuff. This is a stick car, so we'll even show you some of the transmission goods. So,
yeah, a little bit.
All right, stay tuned. We'll walk you around this thing. All right, well, anybody who knows George at all knows he wheels and deals parts pretty often. And you can see right there in the background, he's got big blocks galore. I see 3 others besides the one spread out on the table. There's another one over here to our right in the office, plus Arts is in there too, so there's 2 more there.
There's one at the machine shop still.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's 6, plus this is to be the 7th.
Yeah, there's a lowly small block in here. It's over there by itself.
Oh, that's right.
For another car. But
we won't talk about that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. What? Yeah, we see you in the background.
Oh.
Hi, Brett.
Hi.
Kurt gave you something to give to George last
Got it.
Yeah, already did.
Yep.
Thanks. All right, so take us through this and give us your prices on these things. What do these things cost you?
All right, so this is it's a Gen 6 454 block. Honestly, I don't remember how much I have into the block. It was a reject block from another build, and since this is a lower horsepower build, we're using it for this one. This crankshaft I got from a guy out of Eugene. It's actually a 502 crankshaft, but same casting number as a 454. I think I paid like $300 for the crankshaft, forged steel. And then the cam is actually, when I built Tammy Hall's 69 Chevelle, this is the cam I put in originally, but I actually found a cam that was more suited for the cylinder head that went on that engine. So this is the takeout cam from that engine. It's a Isky, it's like 560, 580 lift, 228, 238. It's not huge.
Hydraulic roller.
Hydraulic roller. It's not huge, but it'll make some good power. I don't know how well it's going to work with this cylinder head, but honestly, for the budget that it is, it's going to be perfectly fine. So these cylinder heads, I picked these up from a guy out of Vancouver. They were actually on a boat. They're rectangle port heads. Wouldn't have been my first choice, but I got a good deal on them. I think I paid $500 for the heads, fully loaded, ready to go with the right springs on them. So that was a pretty good deal to me. These pistons actually came out of that LS6 block. That's like a crate LS6 engine, and these pistons came out of it. They're well used, a little bit of pitting. Like I said, I'm just using parts that I've had laying around.
You had 6 of them, you had to buy 2.
They actually came, when I bought that engine, it came with 2 brand new pistons.
Oh, okay.
So those came with them. And then these rods I picked up, honestly don't even remember where those rods came from. The lifters are, when Kirk Hall bought his Nova, these were the hydraulic lifters that came in the car when he bought the car. I think, what did we say? It ran 1070s or something like that with these, with the cam that was in it. So those are takeout from the 540 that was in Kirk's Nova. Intake manifold they got off Marketplace for like $300, shipped.
Edelbrock. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's Edelbrock.
RPM air gap.
Air gap, rectangle port. The clutch came from Scott Fink. It was when we were doing his 55, it was just some leftover parts. The clutch disc, I honestly couldn't even tell you where that came from. I don't even remember. And then the flywheel, I just picked it up off of Amazon. It's just like a Dorman replacement for a Gen 5, Gen 6 big block. Same with the balancer. These I actually got a pretty good deal on. I bought this, the oil pump, and a couple other pieces from a guy at the Mile to Wild swap meet in Salem. And I saw his ad on Marketplace, and then when I saw him in person, I bundled all this stuff together. He gave me a killer deal on the rocker arms. They're brand new Crane Golds, so got a good deal on those. And then the oil pan I picked up a long time ago off of Marketplace. It came from back east somewhere for a couple $100. But so this engine actually, it's not the engine that's going to stay in this car. This engine right here is actually the LS6 that will go in that car. This engine is actually going to end up in a 94 Chevy pickup, but I made a promise to my daughter that I would pick her up on the last day of school, which is June 12th, my mother's birthday. And I'm gonna, so I'm trying to get the car together so I can go pick her up at parent pickup, because she goes to after school care every day. And so I'm gonna leave work early, pick her up in the Chevelle. She kind of digs that thing, so she's pretty excited about it. So, and so am I. So
very cool.
But yeah. And, you know, it'll be nice to have this thing running to be able to go on a cruise, and honestly, this engine will be capable. We can go drive to the coast or whatever, a little family trip. So I'm looking forward to having this car back together again. I do miss driving it. It's a fun car to drive, especially with the 4-speed. So it is an M22. Upgrading it to putting a scatter shield in it this time. I do abuse it really hard, so I want to make sure that, you know, something happens, me and the family are protected. So, and
you could race in the shifter class.
I could. I could, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's a fun street car. It's super fun to drive on the street. It does great burnouts, as some of you know.
We got Dale's party coming up too, and
that's true.
Yeah.
It's got brand new tires on it. I just put new tires on it again, so we're gonna refrain. Maybe.
So it's Friday night. If all goes well, when will this thing be running?
Sunday or Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, so tomorrow is assembly day. With any luck, if this thing's assembled tomorrow, it should be the engine all painted and in the car tomorrow night. Maybe. No, not tomorrow night. Sunday morning, it'll be in the car.
All right.
And yeah, I got to take the daughter to the new Stitch movie. So,
that's important.
Yep. So we're gonna cut tomorrow short, and then Sunday it'll be in the car, hopefully running by Sunday night or Monday. So
awesome.
Yeah. Once again, it is Memorial Day weekend, so thank you for those that paid the ultimate sacrifice for us.
Yes, appreciate it. Fallen heroes. Cheers. Okay, we're back here. We're going to take a quick look at this 70 Chevelle. Maybe start with, how long have you had this thing? When did you get it?
I bought this car in 1995. I actually had wrecked a 69 El Camino that I had, and I was looking for another El Camino, and a buddy of mine came up to me. He's like, hey, I know where there's a 70 Chevelle, and I didn't want to buy it. At the time, I wasn't a Chevelle guy. I was an El Camino guy, and still am. But yeah, so he's like, let's go take a look at it. And it was in Salem. It was pouring down rain, and the guy was storing it for another guy, and we made a phone call, and I bought it for $200. So
Nice.
yeah, back in 1995, I was still in high school. So.
And you call it Melba Toast.
Yeah, I actually didn't name that. My good buddy Brett Bartlett actually named it Melba Toast because of the movie Days Confused. It doesn't have white stripes, it has silver, but you get the hint. And anyways, it's been through multiple variations. It's had a 9-inch in it, it had a 572 in it, it's had multiple 4x4s in it, automatics, and then now it is a stick car. It has power windows, power disc brakes, 4-wheel disc brakes. It has a 12-volt back in it. So
It had a roll cage at one time?
it did. It's actually had 2 different roll cages in it. And then it's kind of funny, back in the day when I had it certified, the cage certified to run the 9s, I had the bars that were bent that went in through the package tray. And I took it to Steve Dembo at the drag strip to certify it, and he failed it because the bars were bent the wrong angle. So I actually brought it home. That was on a Saturday. I brought it home on Saturday night. I took the back seat out of it. I cut the back bars out of it. On Sunday, I put new back bars in it. And then on Monday, I trailered it to Vancouver and met with him at the Fred Meyer. Anybody who's ever dealt with Steve Denbo back in the past, that's where you met him to do the non-track stuff. And he just looked at me and he said, "I don't know why you're doing this to this car." And it was a pretty cool compliment. At the time, the car was a little nicer than it is now. It's had a few more miles on it, but yeah, it was pretty cool. He was pretty complimentary of the car. But yeah, so cut the back bars out, put straight ones in, took the back seat out of it, and then it wasn't long after that. Since it is my high school car, I didn't want to cut it up anymore. I literally just gutted everything out of it and put it in the variation it is now. So since 2008, it's been like this.
And you're sporting a new look. You got Steelies on the back?
I do. I actually was going to put different wheels on the front. One of them ended up being cracked, so I stuck with the torque thrust in the front, but it does have Steelies in the back now. So a little bit more of a vintage vibe I'm trying to give the car. Obviously, it's way up in the front because there's no engine in it, but yeah.
Nice.
I'm excited to put this thing back together.
It's got the barn find dust on it, layer of dust.
It's been sitting for almost 2 years now.
Wow.
With no engine in it. Pulled the engine out to put in a different car. So it was cannibalized for another car. So yeah, it's been sitting ever since. So
Right
we're
on.
getting it together.
It's got all the legit super sport look to it.
Yes, it is actually not a factory super sport. This was originally a blue 307 Malibu from the factory with a white interior, and it's an SS clone. So.
Weiler, Oregon City, Oregon.
So pretty cool story about the license plates. I actually bought this plate on eBay, and I paid like $12 for the license plate. And then after my dad had passed away, I was building my uncle's 68 Camaro, and I was looking for a license plate just to put on that Camaro while it was still in Oregon before I went to California. And I went on eBay again, and I typed in Oregon blue license plate, and the match 5 years later to my license plate showed up on eBay. So I bought the match. So I have a set, and they both came from eBay, like 5 or 6 years apart from each other.
Nice.
So it was pretty cool story. So I don't know what the odds of that are, but I ended up with both of them. So,
Yeah, and it's got a 70 tag on it.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna show you the budget build big block for this thing. So.
All right.
Holy shit.
All right, just gonna hop back on here and give a little update on this budget big block we're putting together for my Chevelle. Ran a little snafu yesterday. Was putting the heads on it. I actually put the passenger side head on yesterday, and then I was getting ready to clean up the driver's side head. And I noticed one of the valves was bent. You could clearly see daylight between the valve and the seat. These are the heads I picked up on Marketplace. Unfortunately, the guy I bought it from said they were good to go, ready to bolt on. My own fault. I should have done research. I should have, brought some brake cleaner or something and sprayed into the ports to check to see if they leaked. They actually have multiple valves leaking on both heads, so I actually had to rip the other head back off of it. I'm actually changing up the program a little bit. Fortunately, I had another intake manifold. I have a Hawaiian Stealth oval port, and I had another set of heads that I recently picked up on a recent road trip here. So I'm actually going to use these oval port heads. A little less horsepower, I would think. Go the oval port with a small valve. These are 702 casting heads, so they're 96.4 compared to the 119s. So we are bumping the compression ratio up right around 1.5. So it's going from like 9 to 1, 10.5 to 1. So that'll help a little bit, but I do believe that the better flowing head would have been superior. But we'll make it work. So yeah, gonna change up the heads. I actually ruined one of the head gaskets. I sprayed a copper coat on them just because of the nature of the used cylinder head. I sprayed copper coat on the head gaskets to help them seal. And when I pulled it off, it actually worked really well because it ruined the head gasket. It stuck to the head, so the stuff does work. But anyway, I got another one ordered. It's on its way. So I'm hoping I'll get this thing buttoned up today, get some paint on it, and then if it's not in the car tonight, it'll be in the car tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get to make some noise and you'll get to hear that. So stay tuned. D-Loney V8, Burns Brothers Performance, share, hit the bell, like, subscribe, do all the stuff. Really appreciate you. Thanks. All right, well, that's a wrap. Got this thing buttoned up this weekend. Happy with how it turned out. Had a few little hurdles. As you saw, I had to change the plan on the cylinder heads. Had to go with a different set of cylinder heads, and then that made a different intake manifold. So the intake actually started out as peanut port. I had to hog it out a little bit. Not bad. I didn't get too carried away with it. But I also wanted to give a few shout outs to a few people that helped me along the way. I really appreciate everyone's help on this project. Rick Pearson. This thing wouldn't be running right now if it wasn't for Rick Pearson. He recently acquired Jeff's machine shop that I've actually used for years. Jeff is a great guy too. But Rick recently acquired that machine shop. We got the talking. I've never used him before on a project. He actually worked at a different machine shop in Salem, but he stepped up, got this thing done for me in time before he had to head out for the weekend. So Rick, I appreciate you helping me out on that. Craig Wright, I called him today. Had a question about my clutch. He answered the phone, or actually he called me after I sent him a message, and he was more than willing to answer my questions. He got me lined out, gave me some reassurance on where I was at with the clutch setup and all that stuff. Just the geometry was messed up, and it actually broke the bell crank when the first time I stepped on the clutch. I think that was just a poor factory weld. Of course, Dave Loney. Appreciate Dave. You know, he always comes down here, does these videos. He does them for you guys. He enjoys doing it.
All right.
All he asks for in return is that you like and subscribe and, you know, share and all that good stuff. So, and then of course, Nikki and Juliana, thank you for letting me get on this project. I really wanted to get this car back together. I made a promise to Juliana that I'd get this thing running before her last day of school, which is June 12th. And I got it running for you, kids, so I'm gonna pick you up at school on the last day. Yeah, really happy with how everything turned out. It could have went sideways on me. Had a couple mishaps, nothing major. Everything went well. Ended up actually, I really wanted to run the stock valve covers, but I put roller rockers on this thing, and the poly locks were just a little bit too tall. They were actually touching the valve covers, so I swapped out to these valve covers that actually a buddy of mine, Brett Bartlett, engraved for me years ago. I threw these on here. Haven't test driven it yet. Obviously, you gotta wash the car, put the hood on it. I do need to get new heater hoses for it, so I get the heater hooked up and get some coolant in this thing. It just has water in it right now, but yeah, super happy. And I also wanted to say again, happy Memorial Day for those that paid the ultimate price for us. Appreciate everything that the military does for us, and the fallen soldiers and military men and women. Our hats are off to you guys, and we appreciate everything you did, and paid the price for us so we could have our freedoms. Anyways, thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, like I said, and stay tuned for more from D. Loney V8 and Burns Brothers Performance. Cheers.